This is the Scarlet Letter photo project done by Ross, Jordan, and myself. This first picture shows the A in a burning state, as it is so often described throughout the entire book. In this picture, a tree has fallen in the forest. This is similar to how Hester has fallen in her society, and the others look down upon her. But as this tree will decay, and a new tree will come forth and join the others, Hester has risen in her society and is now looked upon as a capable and helpful person who is very important to their society. As we can see in this picture, the leaf is dead, but it is not the leaf's doing. It is because the branch has been cut off from the rest of the tree that this leaf is dead. Just as how Pearl is not welcomed by the other children, it is because of Hester being cut off from the rest of society that the children treat Pearl the way they do. This prison door is similar to the one in the book in that it's rusting, it looks old, it's very decrepit, it really just doesn't belong where it is. In this picture we can see a leaf being corroded from the inside out. This is just as how Arthur Dimmesdale is being corroded from the inside out by the guilt and pain that he feels from the sins he has committed with Hester. Just as with the past prison door, this one's paint is peeling, it is covered in rust. The foundation is crumbling. It is old, it is decrepit. In this picture you can see we have a very bright and green surrounding area, but in it is an enclave of darkness, similar to how the wilderness contains evil with the devil and the witches meeting, planning the evil acts. This mortar and pestle represent Chillingworth. As a doctor, he would use these sort of instruments to grind up herbs, roots, and other vegetation to create medicines which he would use to help people or to hurt them. This mask represents Chillingworth because he hides his true identity from everyone. He pretends to be a helpful old doctor, dedicating himself to seeing that Arthur Dimmesdale comes back to full health. But in fact, he is actually slowly but surely making sure that Arthur Dimmesdale meets his demise. As this branch has been cast off from the main tree, Hester has been cast off by the rest of the society. They want little to nothing to do with her. As these night vision goggles aid people in traversing dark areas, Arthur Dimmesdale helps his people through dark times emotionally with his religious sermons and his prayers. Here we have a Milky Way bar, and as the Scarlet Letter symbolizes Hester falling to her inner lustful desires, this Milky Way bar can symbolize people falling to their inner gluttonous desires. Here we have a withered flower, which was once gorgeous and spring with life. As with Roger Chillingworth when he first came to the society, people saw him as a gift from God, as a doctor to heal their beloved Arthur Dimmesdale. But as time went on, he began to wither, and they began to see the evil in his face. As this sky represents potential freedom, in the wilderness, people can be who they really are. In the wilderness, Hester and Dimmesdale can show their true feelings for one another without worrying about social repercussions. As this plant was once full of life and health, so is Dimmesdale, but he has been brought down by his guilt and by Chillingworth, who is seeking to destroy him. Here we have a fence which has been overrun by moss and vines, just as Chillingworth has been overrun by his desire for vengeance. In this image we have a lamppost illuminating the dark, just as Pearl illuminates the dark for Hester. Without Pearl, Hester would surely succumb to the darkness. As you can see in this picture of the sunset, there's a very sharp distinction between the light and the dark. Just as in the book, there's a very sharp distinction between scenes taking place during the day and scenes taking place during the night. In this picture of a beach, you can see the shoreline separating the ocean and the earth, just as the brook separated Hester and Pearl. Just as with the previous light and dark image, these two never come together. Light and dark are separate. As they are throughout the book, they are made very distinct from one another, as things are either done during the day or during the night. This rose represents the rose next to the prison door. The prison door and the rose do not match. They are quite the opposite of one another, the rose being a thing of beauty, and the prison door being a decrepit, rusty, old thing of the past. Just as this rose here is very distinct from its black and white background.